Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Robert Fillmore, and this is Nigel, and together we're going to be taking you through FISPAN's vision of embedded banking for business. First, what I'd like to do is give you a little bit of background about FISPAN. We are a 5-year-old fintech based out of Vancouver, and we work with 6 of the top 10 banks in the USA, including JP Morgan, and we're also working now with a number of leading Tier 1 banks in Europe. And then what is it that we do? We actually provide a platform that helps businesses engage directly with their bank's financial products in the context of their daily work. So basically, an embedded banking solution. So the idea of embedded banking is not particularly new. And here we have a beautiful picture of a truck in the 1950s driving out to a factory to be where the customers were. That's really an archaic way of doing things. So now let's look at what we should be doing in 2020. In 2020, we see a different kind of model altogether. The financial professional in a larger business generally spends their day within their ERP, handling things like accounts payables, financial planning, bank reconciliation, etc. So what we do is we actually bring those capabilities directly to where they are, where the financial professional lives, which is the ERP. Now what we do is it's not just within a single ERP. We actually make all of the APIs that you as a bank will be providing, we make them available as embedded and immersive experiences within the ERP. And the ERPs we support are things like Sage, NetSuite, but also smaller SME products like Xero and QuickBooks. So now we've just spoken a little bit about what it is we do. What I'd like to do is let's see how we do this. And we're going to just look at a couple of things here. The first one is going to see how we onboard customers using something like a simple wizard, and Nigel will take us through that. And then we're going to have a look at a real immersive ERP, which we're going to show you with Sage. So first of all, let's imagine that Nigel is the CFO for a small distribution business, and he has got the QuickBooks app, and he's in the App Store and has stumbled across the bank's app to access their capabilities. So over to Nigel.
Perfect. Thank you, Robert. The first step in my onboarding journey towards embedded banking is to complete the FISPAN connectivity wizard. And this is a tool that creates that elusive connectivity between my QuickBooks and all of the bank products and services that I need to run my business. So starting the wizard, and moving through the overview page, I come to permissions. And here I'm granting my bank the permission to read and write specific data elements within my accounting system. So not everything, these specific payment-related items. Next, I'm going to enter my QuickBooks credentials into the QuickBooks OAuth window here, creating an OAuth token that is shared from my QuickBooks to my bank to allow them to access my QuickBooks data. So just selecting the company I want to connect here and hitting next. The APIs will do the rest here. So this OAuth token is now created, and the wizard here is going to do one final heartbeat check to ensure that it can use this token to connect to the QuickBooks APIs to access my data. But for me as a business person, this was just a few clicks, not very long, and I now have all the benefits of QuickBooks connectivity to my bank.
Great. So now as Nigel's changing his job, and he's going to become a head of finance in a mid-market business running the Sage Intacct ERP.
Perfect. So it's a Thursday. Today is payments day. The first thing I want to do on my Sage Intacct platform is check my balances and transactions. I can log in from the main menu here to the bank app that I have installed in my Intacct. I've gone onto the information reporting page, and I can see all of the latest balances for all of my bank accounts. Clicking into any one of these, I can see when the balance last updated, but also all of the transactions that are occurring on my account. So for me, all the payments I sent yesterday, they have cleared, and there's an important receivables item from a customer of mine has landed. Even more importantly, these transactions are being fed automatically into the reconciliation module of native Intact overnight. So tomorrow, when I want to do reconciliation, I know all of these settled transactions are already fed in there. Now for the fun stuff. I'm going to come to the payments page. So this is where I've already created all of my vendor invoices. These bills are created within my system, but now I'd like to pay them. I don't need to leave Intact to do that. Instead, I can come here and choose which vendors, sort by due dates and so on, and start to select payments that I'd like to make, choosing how I'd like to pay them over here. So these are euro bills. I'm going to use SEPA Instant to pay these. I hit pay, and I choose which of my bank accounts I want to pay from, and I hit OK. Those have automatically been marked paid in my ERP, and the payments have been submitted to my bank for processing. The app will periodically check for status updates on these payments so I can follow along in real time.
Right, thank you, Nigel. So we've seen how quickly a customer can get onboarded, and we can see how easy it is for them to access the banking services from within the ERP. From our experiences, customers love this. They see that it saves them time because they don't have to flip between an ERP and a banking portal, so it saves time and greater efficiency. But what's in it for the bank? With the bank, basically, it helps you deliver something to your customers that they are already looking for. It helps you gain and retain the customer. Helps to drive additional transaction revenue. It helps to drive an increase in deposit levels in the banks. In fact, the customers generally keep between 30 and 70% increase in their deposits. I had a load of other things, so come and talk to us at the stage at our stand later on. And despite me being over time, please vote for us. Thanks.